Hi, it's your homeschool doula here again with my brilliant sister Victoria.
Hi.
I am the oldest of our family of 8 and she is the youngest of our family of 8, so you have her perspective today on our little interview here from a homeschool graduate. So that is her brief introduction. I'll let her introduce herself the rest of the way.
All right, thank you. My name is Victoria. I am 18 years old. I'm a senior in high school right now, and I was homeschooled through 9th grade. That's when I first started public school, and it was a whole different experience, but I have loved having the best of both worlds, homeschool and public school. I started out completely homeschooling, and then 7th and 8th I did one class, and then 9th I did full transition.
Awesome. And tell us some more what you're doing right now. You're a senior in high school. What are your plans coming up?
Well, I just made my final decision on college. I was looking at a lot of different options, but I decided on Southern Utah University. Woo!
Awesome.
I'm really excited to go there. Warmth, good stuff. And I had, through my homeschool experience and public school, I've built up the opportunity for a full ride scholarship to go there.
Good job.
Thank you.
Way to go. So, now the burning question on everyone's minds. You ready?
I'm ready.
What about your social life? How did you get a social life when you were homeschooled? How did you transition to public school?
Tell you. It was great. It was okay. There were some hard parts for sure. But I had a very easy transition. I was not a loner homeschool shut off in my basement. I had friends. I had parties. I went to dances. I was active during the week, going to different people's houses for different activities. I was part of a homeschool co-op, which was a really good asset in increasing social life. I had homeschooling with friends. I had church activities and different local neighbor friends. There's nothing lonely about my homeschool experience.
What? You weren't shut in your house? Your whole growing up
I know.
years?
Shocker.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's a big revelation.
I'm glad you now know. And then my transition in 7th, 8th grade started first class of public school. It was really strange to be going to a classroom setting with lots of students around me and with teachers that aren't my mom. It was a very different experience, but because of homeschooling, of how I was homeschooled, I was able to adapt. I have had so many opportunities in my homeschool years to interact with groups of people, maybe presenting a project at the homeschool co-op, or going to homeschool big conventions and being in classrooms with different students and conversing, having interactive activities. My homeschool experience was more than just my living room. It was expanded to a lot of different vistas.
That is the beauty of homeschooling. It's not just within the 4 walls of a classroom.
Exactly.
You can get beyond your living room, you can get beyond the school room, you can get beyond, you can move into the world, which will prepare you for college.
Exactly.
Excited? So that is kind of a benefit you gain from homeschool. Are there any other benefits that you want to talk about homeschooling?
Yes. I attribute a lot of who I am today from my homeschooling background. I don't think I would be this far in my goals for a higher education without the foundation of homeschooling, even if I wasn't homeschooled through high school. I gained through homeschooling the really apparent skill of talking to people. Talking to all sorts of people, all sorts of ages. I talk to young people, kids, like with the homeschool co-op, I have the little kids to talk to and teach, and I had kids my age through different activities, and I also had a lot of activities with adults, where I was one-on-one with an adult, or maybe a few students and an adult, and I worked closely with adults, learning how to talk and express my ideas. And then beyond that, I did a lot of service projects with older folks. And I went to their retirement home a lot, played the piano, talked to them, the residents. And I got really comfortable with talking to all ages and having that relatable connection. And even to this day, some of my best friends are 70 and up.
Nice. So what would you tell people who are afraid of failing their child? Or because they don't know how to homeschool, or they're afraid of having holes in the child's education, or just failing them in somehow because of homeschooling them?
That's a really good question. And a lot of homeschooling moms, it's a real issue of how can I raise my child in the best way? And I can attest from my own personal experience that my homeschooling did not fail me in the least. It gave me the tools I need to be successful. And I'm still learning and adapting. And I really like my public school experience too, because it's caused me to adapt in a whole other way. And because of my homeschool experience, I can make mistakes, fall, trip, learn, and grow and acknowledge I need to grow and acknowledge that's not working, let's try a different way. And I've had to do that so much to learn and progress. And because of that, I have gotten so far. I've been the president of multiple high school clubs. I was the head editor of the newspaper. I was the chief editor of the yearbook for 2 years. I have gotten so far with what I'm doing. I've gotten that full ride scholarship to Southern Utah University. I've been chosen as an English Sterling Scholar. I've had multiple experiences leading, growing, being a part of my community in school. I participated in scholarship pageants and won lots of money through that. It's been such a success, and I attribute it all to homeschooling and being with my mom so she can raise me in the morals of home and family and growth and balance.
I love that. You are such a success story. Thanks for being a rock star, Victoria. You're awesome. What a good success story for all of us.
Glad I could share it.
Yeah. Do you have anything else you want to say, or do you want to just end with that awesome success story?
Homeschool. It's amazing. I love it. I'm going to go homeschool my kids in many years.
Don't be afraid. And her experience as the 8th child was very different from my experience as one of the first children going through our program, my parents' homeschooling program. My mom changed her method quite a bit between me and Victoria, which shows that every homeschooling family is so unique and so different. And what I do is not going to be what Victoria does with her kids some future, very far distant day. And what my mom did is different how we both are going to do it also. So your homeschool journey is going to be different than our homeschool journeys for your kids. And that is beautiful. That's awesome. And it's going to be different for your kids and for yourself. And don't try to imitate my way or Victoria's way or my mom's way, even though they're all awesome. You got to figure out your own way to do it. And like Victoria said, it gives you the
foundation.
The foundation, yeah. To figure out your own way and to move forward. And if you make a mistake, like, I'm going to step back and try a different way now. And that's okay. And it's okay to move on. So, we know you can homeschool. We're rooting for you. And we'll see you next week.
Bye!